opening drive. They'll be led out by the Red Rifle. From TCU, it's Andy Dalton.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
Touchdown, Houston. Matt Breida hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, they said they wanted to have some explosive runs. How about that one to start the game?
And I would say on the defensive sideline, there's a lot to answer for because you spend all week saying, stop the run. I don't care who you're playing. You don't want to get run over. You don't want to get run past. And they have both. Overcommitting in the secondary, and he just went stepping past them and is still running, essentially.
One play, and he hits pay dirt. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Ravens now under 12th-year coach John Harbaugh. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent, too. They just saw a big strike against their team.
And, right away, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best shot.
He's got him in. Complete. The 20. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Tony Pollard with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something?
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They run with Breida. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
That'll be complete to Breida. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'll be if it ended today.
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Off the edge, Jerry Hughes gets the sack. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
Mike, 53, Mike. In the face. Let's go.
To throw is Bridgewater. And he's going to go down again.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
3rd and long for Bridgewater. And the pressure gets to him again. Devin White in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Abram, the rookie from Mississippi State. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means...
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Tyreek Hill, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season as the Ravens push further out in front. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it's now 21-7. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time, one-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go jet sweep here with Chark. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Dalton. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 21.
Calvin Ridley more than justified his first-round selection in 2018. 64 catches as a rookie and found the end zone 10 times. Did a nice job getting open right there and picking up a first down.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Dalton. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation, because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. DJ Chark, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
Time to take a glance into what we've seen so far from Teddy Bridgewater. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure? The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. He's going to fire one deep over. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big play that time for the Ravens. 42 yards. Throwing is Bridgewater. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now on 2nd and 16, Bridgewater. Joey Bosa make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. He completes it to Bryant. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. Joey Bosa make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. 3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. From the gun, Bridgewater. Being chased out left. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And Gay knocks this one through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. Now, he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help. And I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score, and sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go ahead and have all of his points. Let's hold down everyone else, and that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start scoring, quote-unquote, as he's been.
Yeah, and he's hoping to keep it close so maybe they can keep it on the ground, not start to go through the air as much. So we reach halftime. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They are working on that very impressive 9-game win streak, looking to get it to 10 as they've got the lead here, 1st and 10. Forced out to his left. Now he'll pull it down. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Now how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Now a pass that's taken in by Hill. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And an alley to run. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 45-yard line. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Bridgewater buying time to his left. He'll try and... Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do!
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Let's get off the field.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he'll be taken down at the 18. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And Dalton to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. It's been a struggle for him accruing yards in this game passing the football. So there he said, hey, I'm going to try to chuck it deep, but another incompletion.
Has to be a little bit frustrating because of what you just described. It's been a struggle for him here in the second half, hoping for one big shot to get him out of the doldrums.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead. But coaches look at what if.
This is caught inside the 15. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Tyreek Hill. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. As the Ravens push further out in front. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
At the 25-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
They run again with Breida. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack. But I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone and into the offensive backfield. He's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. Has bred this big defensive tackle.
Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Throwing, Dalton. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. They'll toss it to Breida. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take the offensive lineman out for steaks afterwards, don't they?
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Back now in Baltimore. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. They'll try on fourth. Here's Dalton. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Tony Pollard, his second touchdown of the afternoon as the Ravens push further out in front. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is now 24. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Dalton. They'll get this into the hands of Breida. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Passing, it's Dalton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack. This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. They're already slim. Hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Whip. Watch the whip.
They'll try to pass on 4th down. Dalton. And this is incomplete. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
Let's see how they respond now. Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Daron Payne able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
53 to mark.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
To throw again on 2nd down. Dalton, he gets this one to Johnson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Dalton. This complete to Martin. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Call that a 48-yard punt and made even better by a loss on the return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Bridgewater here to throw. And going deep for Hill. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52. We ain't giving up nothing today. Hey, Mike 52.
Bridgewater to throw it. Try to lay one up deep. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Come on, the ball. Check. 53.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
We call that.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Come on, fellas.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now left side on the swing pass, and they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Second down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. So Dalton now. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a second down and 12. To throw, Bridgewater. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Third and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Bridgewater now. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this? And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Jonathan Abram, the rookie from Mississippi State. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Ravens, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start.
Yeah. Okay. 30. Okay. I might all my girls, they love